Right, hello everyone. I'm back. It's been nearly a month since my last video, and that's because I've had no karting to record. But as you can see, I'm not doing my usual, which is Club 100. I'm racing at Red Lodge in Club 2000 in the Club Pro Junior category. And I'm here because I got this GX UK kart built for, well, GX UK Juniors, and then didn't get in. But I got into Club 100, so now if I have time on a weekend and can do it, I come down to Red Lodge and do this. I did one round in February and I haven't done any since, so it's not going to be my finest driving, but it is a video to fill the gap between my last round at GYG and my next round at Rissington, which is at the end of the year. So yeah, just enjoy the video, and we are currently getting into heat 1 of the day. And as you can see by the fact I'm on wet tyres, and there's water on the camera and on the track, it is wet, which will be a theme throughout the rest of the day. So for this heat, I'm starting in P2 in the juniors. Now we do race with the seniors, but you probably won't see any of them because they start earlier than us. So we come onto the tram lines and the lights go green and we go racing. Coming into this first hairpin, I go wide trying to take the wet line, and I have about 2 or 3 people coming my inside. But going into this corner, someone turns into me and they spin, which gives me a nice small gap to the people behind me. And I'm now running in, I think, 4th. Not that I finished there, because I'm not very good in owners, because I'm not used to them. Now that was the first racing lap around Red Lodge, and someone else had just come at my inside, and I think maybe another one comes up. No, they don't. But yeah, as you can see, it is quite slippy, and I'm really soaring at that wheel. I need to sort that out. That's not very fast. And another person comes up my inside, and I think, yeah, I make a mistake there, and I couldn't see that number, comes up my inside again. Who's it? Number 57, yeah, they come at my inside, and I'm now down to, I want to say 7th, I think I'm 7th by now. Yeah, as you can see there, from my kind of lack of talent, falling all the way from 2nd to, I think, 7th, I'm not very good in owners. I'm not used to the track, I'm not used to wet, so I'm used to driving slicks in the wet, and I'm not used to these karts. I'm used to driving Rotaxes in Club 100, and these are 4-strokes. But yeah, don't worry, I won't make you watch all the heat 1 because I don't think much else happens, so I'll just show you any action, if any more happens, and if not, I'll just end up showing you the final lap. So yeah, you'll see that now. This is the lap in the future, and I can't always show you how much I've caught up, but actually looking back at the footage, I didn't really catch up that much, so I just kind of just cut out a bit of the video for no reason. So I promise next time that I do a little time skip, it will actually be for something important. I mean, I did catch up through that section of the corners, but you know, not really much. So yeah, now I've skipped forwards and it's actually some action. The 2 people ahead, they overtake each other, and then going through this corner, I get a good run on the, I think it was it was not number 18, I'm not even going to try and remember the number, but I go for it and I get the move done, and I believe this is where I stay for the rest of the race in P6. I'll go through all the footage, and if it is where I stay, the next lap you'll see is the in lap, but if anything else happens, I will also show that, but I don't think anything else does. Turns out something else does happen. Going into this corner, I use too much curb and have a little bit of oversteer and get up and do a small save. It's not much, but this race was kind of boring, so any little bits of action I can show, I will. Right, so nothing else happened, so I've just skipped the end of the race. This is quite literally the end lap. So, yeah. That race, overall, alright for my first time racing my own car in, like 4 months. 4? Yeah, 3 or 4 months. It's been a while. So yeah, it was alright. I enjoyed it. I went from P2 to... I went all the way down to P7, and then I made an overtake for P6, which is where I finished the race. Which, you know, I'm not unhappy with. But there was definitely a lot more pace I could find, which I didn't find during the day. I don't know what was going on with me, but I just didn't seem to improve in the day, even though I knew I could. But yeah, here we are pulling into the pits, and that is the end of Heat 1. So, Heat 2 will be coming up next, which is even more boring. So you'll probably only see like the first lap of that. But yeah, here it comes. Alright, so this is Heat 2, and don't know what I'm doing there in front of the camera. I think I'm just checking it's on. But yeah, this is Heat 2, and it doesn't really go very well. I'm starting quite low down. I think I was 6th. Yeah, I'm starting in 6th. But it doesn't really matter where I start, because the people behind me were on brand new slick tyres, and well, we kind of made the wrong strategy call. When we were sitting under the awning, deciding whether to go slicks or wets, which is what I'm on, there were dark clouds that looked like they were pulling in, and in the end they never came in. And the more we sat on this dummy grid, the sunnier it got and the drier the track got. So in the end we ended up just driving wet tyres on a completely dry track. So as you can imagine, it didn't go well. I finished last in the juniors. I'll just spoil it now. So all I'm going to show is 1 lap, and that's it. Yeah, I'll just show the first lap, and that is it, because everything else is just me slowly losing time to everyone, because my tyres were definitely not the right choice. Everyone who went on wet tyres finished behind everyone who was on slicks, so, you know, wets were definitely not the choice. Right, so here we are, and as we come across the line, the lights go green and we go racing. When I say we, I don't know what I did at the start. It wasn't good. I think overtaken here. I probably do. But I'm already quite far down, and these wet tyres just couldn't hold up. Here comes someone past me. I'm pretty sure they were on slicks, so they just had so much better pace than me. But yeah, I mean, I literally just had a session just going around by myself, because after this lap I just kept dropping time and I could not catch up. See, that person who just overtook me, I looked behind me in the dummy grid and their tyres were so new they still had all the stickers on them. But yeah, that was the first lap, and yeah, that's just where I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna show 1 more lap, because the laps are only like 50 seconds, and then I'm just gonna go to Heat 3, because Heat 3 is a lot more interesting than Heat 2. Nothing happens in Heat 2. I'm last now, and I finish last, and just lose more time. So, not very good. Alright, so this is Heat 3, and well, as you can see on the track, I'm on wets, but it's actually a wet track. Now, I took a video of how much water we had between Heat 2 and Heat 3, took it on my phone, so I'll put that up in just a second. So let me just pull up that footage, because it rained a lot.
Yeah.
But in a cart, yeah. Problem is, I've got to go out in the rain to get my wetsuit. Look how wet it is. So yeah, as you can see, very, very wet. I don't know how well it picked up on camera, but I know you could see the track, and the track looks like a lake. Now, mind you, 20 minutes later, it looked like how it did on the footage you're seeing right now. So, the track wasn't dry at all. The track was soaking, but because of the sun and no more rain forecast until after the final, it does mean that for the final, I can actually use slicks. But I will just say right now, the final didn't record. It didn't record properly. It didn't record at all. So there's no footage of the final. So after this heat 3, there's no more footage. So, you know. But this heat 3 was where I drove the best. I did not drive well in the final, but I drove quite well in this heat. So enjoy, because there's definitely a lot more to show in this than normal. Now I do get a drop down bumper penalty, which is because my front fairing was out of place because someone braked earlier than I thought, and I rear-ended them, which I will point out when it happens, but I'm going to stop yapping and show you the race start. So here we are on the formation lap. Now I just want you to pay attention to the guy ahead of me as we go through this corner on the formation lap. He drops it, he spins. That gives me a free position, but I don't take it yet because I kept looking over my shoulder, just checking that he wasn't going to come back and reclaim his position. And when I figure out that he isn't, I speed up and I take his position, which in my mind you're perfectly alright to do. So I do, and get a bad start, and the lights go green and we go racing, and I lose positions because I'm so good at go-karting. I see that little bit of contact that just happened. That's what gave me a drop down nose cone penalty, which is 5-second penalty. So yeah. Now actually quite a lot happens in this, so I'm going to show all the highlights and a fast lap. I'm going to put some music over it. It'll be copyrighted, but I don't get enough views or have enough subscribers to get money from these videos anyway, so enjoy the music. But I can't think of a better time to say, world, hold on. Instead of messing with our future, open up inside. World, hold on. One day you will have to answer to the children of the sky. Right, so as you just saw, a bit of a highlight reel of my overtakes. But yeah, from this point on, my camera just stops recording, and now the footage you're seeing is the footage that I cut out to show you those overtakes. But it's pretty much the end of the video. So, you know, because as I said earlier, the final didn't record, so there's no footage for the final. But overall, heat practice, well, you didn't see, but that was fine. Obviously I showed glimpses of pace. No, I didn't, I'm lying. Had no pace. Heat 1, had no pace for a bit, and then I finally figured out how to drive. Heat 2, made a wrong strategy choice, lost loads of time and finished last. Heat 3, my best race of the day. Yeah, as you just saw, I actually made overtakes, and then the final didn't go well. Yeah, I don't know what happened in the final. It just went really bad. It drove really bad and finished last. So yeah, a lot of work needed to be done. A lot of work to the kart, I think. I mean, I don't think my engine's that powerful, and I don't think the setup was good, but I don't really know anything about underkarting, so you are literally watching, you know, the beginnings of my underkarting journey, if I have one. So yeah, but thanks for watching, and there might be another video in 2 weeks from some Silverstone races, just in rentals. Maybe, if I'm allowed to record. But if not, it'll be in 3 weeks. There'll be a video out from Club 100 at Risington, which is at the end of the month. So, see you until then.